Hello, it's Carl Taylor coming to you from Carl Taylor Studios, which is actually just my studio and the other people that work here. Now, today's topic of conversation, what have we had? We had camera supports, lighting supports and tripods the other day. We got into looking at all the nitty gritty of different ball heads, three-way heads, geared heads, tripods. Previous to that, what was the other topic of conversation we did? We did one on light meters. Oh my goodness, the light meter one. Oh, YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Right, this is the first time. Last week was a complete shambles, right? Our live shows are like clockwork on our website, our actual main live shows, right? They're like a full-on slick TV production. Last week, we tried to do this live, where we broadcast live on Facebook and live on YouTube at the same time, and it all went completely Pete Tong. For those of you that live in America, Pete Tong means all wrong, okay? So it all went wrong. So basically what happened is it went out on Facebook, didn't go out on YouTube. But fortunately today, Ben, after promising he could do it last week, has actually figured out how to do it properly this week. So it looks like we're all good there, are we guys? We're on YouTube and Facebook. So I will be taking Q&A, so you can ask any questions you like. Whether I answer them or not is another matter. But I'm going to start the topic off today on one of my favorite lighting modifiers or type of lights, and it's called a Fresnel lens. This here is a Fresnel. Look, I just broke it. No, this is a Fresnel. And this one here is a Fresnel. I'm going to come back to those in a second. Let me just turn that off so you can see it a little bit better. So you can see the type of lens. Let me get my hand pointing in the right place. You can see the type of lens we're talking about. This is the same type of lens that you see in lighthouses, in the glass in lighthouses, because it basically works like a magnifying glass, the way it magnifies and funnels the light directly ahead of it. It's a very clever design. It was designed by a French guy many, many years ago. We'll pull that up. I'll pull that up on Wikipedia in a minute and we'll take a look. But it's quite a unique light quality from a Fresnel. And I use it in a lot of my pictures. I use it a lot in background illumination and also illuminating some models in fashion shots as well. It's quite a versatile light, especially the zooming Fresnel, because you can reposition the light. I'm going to show you that afterwards, show you what it does. And yeah, it's a light that I really, really like to use. And it's a light that not a lot of people really understand it or know much about it. Some photographers, I mean, never even heard of a Fresnel. Sorry, I'm going to have a bit of my coffee here. Now, we're going to talk about that. What else are we going to talk about? I want to talk to you about... No, let's go back to the Fresnel. First of all, let's look up this thing about Fresnel. Let's see who invented it, because I think this is always important. I've got something here that I pulled up in Wikipedia. Okay, so we can see here the Fresnel lens. Now, look at it. Designed by French physicist Augustin Jean Fresnel for lighthouses. Just like I said.
One guy already ripped it.
Someone wrote it was designed.
French physicist Augustin Jean Fresnel.
What? So someone? Who was that? Who said that? Dave, well done, Dave. You win absolutely nothing, but well done anyway. So well done, Dave. He probably got on Wikipedia quicker than I did, and he looked it up. So this page on Wikipedia gives you all the history of the Fresnel. Look, there's even a diagram showing it how it works. It's showing you the side profile of the lens, a cross-section of the lens there, and explains how they work. Now, they've transported these type of lenses into studio lighting so that we can take advantage of their properties. Now, just while we're on the subject, because I know we've got a global audience. I mean, we're that good that we reach all around the globe, okay? Not just here in the sunny old, wet, windy UK as it is today, but we reach all over Europe, America, Australia, Canada, everywhere. Now, I don't know, but maybe some of our American friends over on that side of the pond, maybe you can tell us how you say the word Fresnel, because I believe that you incorrectly pronounce it Fresnel. Fresnel, okay? Now, is that true or not? Can can you message us, anyone from America who's listening from America, can you message us and say, is it Fresnel that you say it, or is it Fresnel, okay? Because if it's Fresnel, it's actually wrong, okay? Because the word is a French word from that French guy's name, and it's pronounced Fresnel, Fresnel. J'adore ma Fresnel, okay? So it is Fresnel, but I want to know who calls it Fresnel, because here on Wikipedia, it says the pronunciation is Fresnel or Fresnel. So which countries pronounce it Fresnel, I wonder? Because I certainly don't. It's definitely a French word, so Fresnel is the way I would go with that. Now, my iPad, where I get my questions coming in, keeps turning off, so we're going to need to modify the settings on that. Right, so let's take a look at how this Fresnel works and what it does. No, actually, first, let's take a look at some photographs that I've shot using a Fresnel, and then we can see the effect that we have with a Fresnel. So I've just got a whole bunch of pictures stored here from a presentation, so I'm just going to go and find ones that use a Fresnel on the background. Here's a great example. So this lovely soft glow that is emanating behind my model that I've got here in this falling girl fashion shot that I did, that glow of light on the wall is created by this thing here. Now this is the Bron Colour Fluter Fresnel. So it's a very big Fresnel. This one here is a small Fresnel, a Pico light attachment Fresnel. I'll come back to those in a minute. But you can get these things in different sizes. So I can get this lovely, lovely soft graduated glow on my background like I've got in the background here. And I can get that with the light a long, long, long way away from the background. I don't need to have a background light really close to do it. Let's take another look at some other examples here, if I can find a suitable one. Because as I say, I also use this light for lighting models for a harsh light. Here's a shot with a Fresnel. So this one is actually the model lit with the Fresnel directly. So if we take a look at it, you can see the strength of the shadows, the sharpness of the shadows. So it creates a harsh light. You can see there on the face, on the nose, and you can see the difference in the shadow density and sharpness as it runs from her foot back to the wall. But you can also see the lovely vignette on the wall here on the back, the way the Fresnel falls off in lighting. Let's see if we can find another shot. They do in America.
Yeah, but there's a couple of places that pronounce it differently.
Okay, well done America for pronouncing it the correct way, which will be the original French word. So we've got a few comments coming in saying they call it Fresnel. Who else, anyone else say they pronounce it differently then? Someone Colombia says Fresnel. Okay. Well, anyway, so Fresnels can be used in a number of ways. I didn't use a Fresnel here. It's a different light, way of lighting, but this would give exactly the same result as a Fresnel as well. You could use a Fresnel here. Here I'm actually backlighting through a material behind this liquid shot. So I didn't need to use a Fresnel because the light's hidden behind the material that I'm shining through. But if that was a wall and I wanted to illuminate the wall like that, then a Fresnel would have been the perfect choice for lighting. So let's take a look if there's any more shots in there. Nothing that I can see. Oh, there's another one. No, wait a minute. Yeah, that is, but we're not going to look at that one right now. Oh, here's another one. Here's the one we did with the splashing paint shots. So this very, very small glow that you see behind the center here is lit with the Fresnel. Oh, I know there's one example that's perfect. There's this one. This one and the one before it. So here, this looks like we vignetted the corners in intentionally in post-production, but I haven't. What's going on here is a Fresnel light, the big fluter, is illuminating the back wall here and illuminating the picture for me, illuminating the background for me, and the same in this shot here. So this natural vignetting here all the way around the edge is not artificial. This is not put in post-production. That is actually there from the way I lit the shot, because you know me, I like to light my pictures and get all the lighting right and get as much of it correct in camera as possible. So the Fresnel is a fantastic tool for creating that lovely ball of light and that vignetting that we get in the corners there without having to artificially do it in post afterwards. And then the same in this shot. I can create that ball of light, and it means I can put the light far away offset without hitting the model, coming in at an angle, and still illuminating the patch that I want it to illuminate. So that's why I love Fresnel lights, especially this big one. Shall we take a look at what it does? Well, I've just shown you what it does, but I've just shown you in the photos, but let me show you in real life. What do we got here? We've got a question from RDY Ply 1. It says, reflector and grid give same look? No, they don't. They give a similar look. As a matter of fact, even a reflector without a grid can give a similar look, especially if you diffuse that standard reflector a little bit. But the problem is you've got to have it in close to the background, close to the wall, so it's in the picture. And that's a massive problem sometimes when you've got a model jumping across the shot, or you're trying to do a shot like, where's that one that I've got here? Like, so if I had this shot, for example, you're going to see that light if it's in the shot. And the other thing with it is it's just not as good. The quality of the light, the quality of the ball, and how big you can make the ball and how controlled you can make the ball of light is not as easily controlled with a standard reflector and a grid, or a standard reflector and diffusion. The Fresnel really is quite unique in the way that you can project that light from a long distance. And I mean, that's the whole purpose of it. It's got a focusing lens, and that's why it was designed and used for lighthouses, because it can project and throw that beam of light in a straight funnel really accurately, concentrate the power of light, concentrate the source of light, so a greater reach, which is exactly what you need in lighthouses. Do you know why? To stop boats crashing into rocks. Okay, right, let's move on. Let's move on to showing you how it works. Have we got any more questions? Oh yeah, one more question here. This is from Anukriti Goswami. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Hey Carl, quick question. Do you use the Fresnel lens with only constant lights? No, we don't. As a matter of fact, this is a studio flashlight plugged in here. So if we take the light out, you can see, look, it's just a normal studio head. And if I fire the flash, so there you can see it's a flash. I just had the modeling light on so that you can see the effect of the light. So no, I'm not a big fan of continuous lighting for my studio photography. I prefer to use flash. I just had the modeling light on, so that's the modeling light. And the modeling light is there purely so you can see what you're doing, so you can see the effect of the light. So the modeling light is on this one at the moment, but again, you can turn the modeling light on and off, and it's still a flash. It's a flash burst that we fire out of there. So he says, can we use it with strobes? Well, yeah, exactly. That's what I've just shown you. Is the effect the same? Yes, it is the same. A strobe, a flash burst of light. The only thing with the physics of using a Fresnel is, did you notice this? Look, for those eagle-eyed photographers amongst you, you may have noticed that on my lovely Bron Colour uni light here, I've got a frosted dome, you see? A bit like my head. Look how similar they are, okay? It's a frosted dome, and the frosted dome, they're normally clear, these domes, but if they're clear, we would be able to see the flash tube. So let me just take this out of here a second. So there's the modeling light, there's the flash tube. Now the flash tube is a ring of light. You can see it's a circle, it's a ring. Now the trick with a Fresnel is that for a Fresnel to work properly, it needs to come from a point light source. And a flash tube is not really a point light source, it's a donut light source. So what you need to do with a Fresnel is you have to turn it into a point light source, and what Bron Colour do here is they put a frosted dome over the top. So you swap your clear dome with the frosted dome, and then you've got a solid point light source, which makes the Fresnel work much more accurately. And it's the same in the little Pico light here. There's a frosted piece of glass in front of the flash tube to create more of a point light source. So that's the first physics lesson there for you on Fresnels, in that you need a point light source to make a Fresnel work effectively. Right, what else have we got here? Someone called Softbox Live Photography. I bet you're not as good as us live. Now, Softbox Live says, how about if you can't afford to buy one? Can it be replicated using other methods? Well, we spoke about the reflector with a grid, so a standard reflector with a grid, or a standard reflector with diffusion gives a similar effect, but it means that it has to be in the photo because it needs to be quite close to the wall to create the right size ball. So realistically, no, there isn't really another great way of reproducing it. You can reproduce it with something like a Pulso 4 projection light from a distance, because you can create a circular light and then you can throw it out of focus, you could diffuse it, but it still won't be quite the same. But this comes down to physics. Remember that light and controlling light is understanding the physics. It's understanding the principles, the fundamentals of light, how light works, how modifiers work, how modifiers change light, and what each of the tools does and why we have them to make the best job of light, okay? So the more you understand the tools, the more you understand the fundamentals of light, then you'll understand the principles and the physics and the reason for the tools being built the way they are built. Now, interestingly, while we're on the subject of using the tools correctly, let's take a look at this. Where is my web browser gone? It's disappeared. I can't find it. Let's hope it's there. Ah, yeah, there it is. Right, so here on carltayloreducation.com, look at that, carltayloreducation.com. Here in our portrait section, we have our brand new course, Light Source, which you can get for just $14. I cover all of this physics stuff of light. I cover all of the control of the light, all the different modifiers. Go back to the screen there, Ben. So we look at the fundamentals of light, the different types of lighting, flash power, flash duration, the relationship of shutter and aperture to flash, measuring light, all the different modifiers, looking at them, reflectors, all of this. I've got 15 chapters dedicated to that stuff, 15 chapters dedicated to understanding light so that you guys get up to speed really with the fundamentals of light. And then after that, I then move on to how you can make great shots with just one light. So all of these shots here are just taken with one light. Then all these shots here with two lights. Then all of these shots with three lights, and then onto 4 lights, then location lighting, then business portrait, and it goes on and on and on and on and on. So in that platform, carltayloreducation.com, I cover all this stuff, and you can access it for $14, okay? But I'm going to show you a little bit about the Fresnel light now, but this is just a tiny, tiny portion of what we've got to offer on our new membership platform. For those of you that don't know, by the way, we used to sell training, okay? We still sell training. When I say we used to sell training, we used to sell downloads, okay? Download courses, DVDs, that sort of stuff. But we stopped all that. Well, actually, they're still there on our old website, but we've moved to a membership platform because the constant feedback was your courses were too expensive. Some of our courses were like $300, et cetera, et cetera. People wanted to get access to this stuff and they wanted it on their own terms. So we said, you know what, let's just give them everything. So we give you everything. All our courses, all our live shows, all our downloadable resources, all of our member discounts, partner benefits, all of those things, even competitions where you can win a Canon 5D Mark IV. We give it all to you for $14 per month. Right, now, John Ross Haney says, do you use them with a light meter? Now, I know John, and John is just trying to wind me up. So John, we've had that debate. You know my thoughts on that. Let's forget about it. Right, let's forget about the light meter debate. Now, someone else is saying, hey ho, can it be created projected from behind the background if somewhat transparent? Yes, it can, but in that instance, you don't need one because the Fresnel will give you a perfect light by transmitting it through the background if you're using like a frosted acrylic or a diffusion material. But if you can't see the light because it's hidden behind a background, then you could just as easily use a standard reflector with a grid or a standard reflector with diffusion material and create a ball of light that way. So you don't need to go to the expense of a Fresnel if you're not seeing the light itself. Adrian Dawes says, how much is it in pounds for the members? So I take it he's talking about how much is the membership in pounds. Well, it's 14 US dollars. That equates to 11 pounds based on, or it's £10.60 based on the exchange rate, I think the other day, yesterday or whatever. I think by the time your card or debit card in UK does the transaction, because we've done a few, it comes in at £11.50. So £11.50 a month is how much it works out in pounds, okay? Now, let's move on back to the Fresnel. Let's have a look at what it does. Let me see where I can move a few things here. So, I'm going to turn this on. Now, you guys will only obviously see the modelling light, okay? So I'm going to have there's the modelling light. I'm going to shine it on the back of the studio wall, but it's going to be a bit too bright in here. So I think we're going to darken down the studio a little bit. And I've shut the top blinds and I'm going to turn some lights off just to make it a little bit darker in here. So let's turn that one and that one off. Let's close down some of the blinds. Now you guys can still see me, so that's okay. Now, can you see the wall okay? So at the moment, you see the Fresnel, we've got a zoom on the Fresnel here. Maybe I'll be better over this side actually. So the camera, there we go, that's better, right. So we've got a zoom handle on the Fresnel, and you can see there's some markings on the top of the Fresnel that say flood all the way to spot. So you can zoom this thing to different positions to create different glows and gradients of light. So at the moment, it's right out in the flood position. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it to the spot position. So as I change this ball, the zoom, there you go. There's our lovely ball of light coming in on the background. And look how far away this is, right? I'm here, the light is here, right? Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm like 10 meters away, right over here down the bottom of my studio, and I've got this beautiful big ball of light across the back of the studio, which is being controlled by that fluter. Now the beauty of it is I can use it as a main light on me, but I can also position the fluter over to one side and strike the wall from an angle, and it still retains a really good ball, but I can strike the wall from an angle, and it means that I don't have to have the light in my picture. It means I can have this ball of light out of shot, out of the way, and still get a good ball. So here we go. There you go. There's the flood version, so I can soften it out. As I think the camera is a little bit bright. I'm going to just change the exposure on this camera so we can see this a bit better. I'm going to darken that camera down a moment for you just to get a better feeling. So you can now see how lovely and soft that gradient is from the Fresnel. There's me zooming it, and there's me bringing it into a tight ball again. So that's how much control you've got with this lovely Bron Colour fluter in the way that you can create that, that lovely lighting. I'm just going to put the camera back up for you guys just so you can see where we were. So that's basically how a Fresnel works, and that's how you can use it, and that's what it looks like. I'm going to turn the modelling lamp off. Now you can also do the same with these little ones. So this one is a small Fresnel, and it's exactly the same thing, except it's like micro small. So you can zoom it by turning the outer part of the, actually, I'm going to need to borrow a board. Emma, let's get a board and show these guys what I mean. Get me a white bit of foam board, please. And then just a piece of white foam board. Any size, doesn't really matter. Yeah, that'll do. Just bring it over here and hold it just there for me. Just there. So these guys can see a small Fresnel. So this is a small Fresnel, and there you can see the same lovely, oh, it's too bright. Let's turn the camera down. Let's darken the exposure down on the camera here. There we go. So you can see even from this small Fresnel, we get this lovely ball of light, and I can spread the beam and the ball by just zooming the outer controls on this Pico light here. So again, it gives you this lovely control over your lighting and your gradient and your ball. And this is just the little Pico light, but it's exactly the same stuff. Thank you, Emma. That's it, it's exactly the same stuff. It's all down to this lens. Let's put that camera exposure back up so we can all see what we're doing again here. Right, so it is all down to this lens. Now this lens design, the Fresnel, there's the glass, you can hear the ridges in the glass. This lens design is what we were talking about that we saw on Wikipedia before. So it's implemented in this one and it's implemented in this one, but this one is much, much bigger, much more Fresnel stuff going on in it, so it can concentrate the light even more spectacularly. Let's turn the lights back on and let's see if we've got any questions coming in. See what we've got going on, because we are live on YouTube and Facebook at the moment, I understand, because Ben has made the technology. Let me see what's going on. Hang on. Right. Chris Berkmeyer, would you ever consider doing a critique session for a small registration of individuals so we can break down our studio work? Or is there any way I can send an image for critique? Okay, so Chris, you can imagine that we have hundreds of thousands of followers on Facebook and on YouTube. And this is something that we get asked for a lot. Obviously, people would like to have their work critiqued by professionals. They would like to, get some opinions on their work. Now, we can't cope with that sort of quantity of stuff, but what we do is for members of our subscription model, those people that pay us the $14 a month to see our live shows and our courses and everything else, we let members send their work in for our live talk shows to critique the live shows. As a matter of fact, we've got a live talk show coming up next week with international photographer Alex Wallace, and I'm going to show you some of his amazing work in a second. We've got a live talk show there, and Alex is going to critique some of our members' work. So the answer to that is, Chris, we do critique work from time to time from our members. We've obviously got our competitions as well, so members that send in their pictures for the competitions, the winners, all that stuff gets critiqued. And then we've also got a forum group that we're starting within the member section, where myself and the team will be ducking in and out and critiquing members' work within that forum, and members will also be critiquing each other's work as well in there. So within the new platform, you can get some access to critique, but obviously it's not something that we can just offer across the board to all our followers. We have to give our customers priority service on that. Okay, next one. What type of mount do those use? Something like a Bowens mount or a proprietary Bron Colour? Okay, so this one is the Braun Color mount on that fluter, and the Pico light is only for the Pico light. But you can get adapters, and although I'm a Bron Color guy and I love the Bron Color stuff, there are other similar Fresnels available by some of the other lighting brands. So each manufacturer makes, not everyone makes them, but some of the other manufacturers make Fresnel spotlights and Fresnel lights, not as good as this fluter. But I believe Bron Colour also make adapters so you can fit other brands of light onto these devices. Now, someone else here says, what does he say? Roddy Plytonia says, Snoots seem similar to the small. They do, but what is the major difference? The major difference is that you cannot change the size of the snoot, okay? The snoot is a fixed size. The Fresnel, you can change the size and the ball, but also you can change the softness. So there's a really nice gradation with the ball of light with a Fresnel that you don't get with a conical snoot. You get a nice gradation with a gridded light, but to change the size of the ball with a gridded light, you've got to move the light further away or closer. If you move it closer, the ball will be smaller. And even if you change the grid size, even the tightest grid on a standard reflector really only gives you a ball about that size when you're really close. The beauty, as I've explained with the Fresnel, as you saw when I illuminated the back wall, if you've joined us late, by the ways, unlucky. You missed it, but you can watch the replay. You can see what I did with illuminating the back wall of the studio with the big Fresnel. So the beauty of the Fresnel is that you can have your light position and you can change the ball size without having to change the light. Someone says, do you do yoga? If so, has it helped your photography and would you suggest yoga for those reasons? I have no idea why you think I look like I do yoga, okay? I'm not sure even if these guys at the desk, right, make this stuff up, all right? No, they're saying, no, this is legit. This is a legit question, okay? I do a little bit of weight training at home and throwing my kids around, right? And I do a lot of scuba diving and lifting heavy tanks. So, you know, I try to stay in shape that way, especially for my age, because I am getting on a bit here. But no, I've never done yoga. I've heard it's very good. I've got a lot of female and male friends that do yoga. But no, I find I would probably not have the patience for yoga because I'm too hyper and want to move around too much. And I think the idea of like holding myself in one position for ages, I might start thinking of other things and get distracted. Anyway, Jonathan Hess. What kind of things are scored on contests? Well, it's interesting actually because I've been judging today. I've been judging the Cinnamon Hotel Sri Lanka photography competition. As some of you may remember from my vlogs, I recently went to Sri Lanka and I'm judging their competition. And it's really difficult because there's like a lot of great photos and there's hundreds and hundreds of photos in each category, so you've got to really look at it. But the way I judge competitions, and the way we'll judge our own competitions, is that we look at the overall standard of all the entries, and I normally sort of pick out 5 or 6 that catch my eyes, but it's all about emotion in photography. You know, it's how does the picture invoke emotion in you? And if it invokes an emotion, then the picture is doing its job. It's telling a story. It may be the light, it may be the subject material, the composition, number of factors. But when it all comes together really, really well, it really invokes an emotion in the viewer. So those are the things that I'm looking for. Now, on our competitions page, if we go over to our website at carltayloreducation.com, you will see here we have photography competitions. And on the photography competitions page, you can see that our next competition theme is moments, and you can win a 5D Mark IV valued at $3,299. The next competition after that is fast, and you can win a Bron Colour Cirrus lighting kit valued at $4,478, I hear you say. That's right. We don't scrimp it here at Carl Taylor Education. We value our members, and that's why our members can win these spectacular prizes, because we love our members, and that's why we give them so much over here on Carl Taylor Education. So we judge the competitions as fairly as possible. I do a round of judging along with my fellow colleagues here. We look at the images, we look for evocative, emotion-filling images, and we normally whittle down the best ones and then start breaking them down a little bit more from there. Now, what else have we got here? Justine Lee says, he says, I know you are sponsored by Bron Colour, hence the reason you might favour them, but which do you think is better, Bron Colour Cirrus L or Pro Photo B1? Well, I am not going to lie to you here, okay? I think the Bron Colour Cirrus light is one of the most spectacular monoblocks ever produced. Lithium-based light. Where is one? We had one the other day. We got a few of them. See if someone can find me one, please. The lithium, it's got like, I think it's like, how many flashes does it do? 800 flashes or something. 800 flashes or something out of that lithium battery. 800 joules of power. And incredible freezing motion capability with the very fast flash duration. Thank you, Ben. Here's one here. Look at this. Look. So here is a Cirrus L light. And it's a lovely design. It comes with the reflector head built in. And here's the lithium battery. There it is. So it's a good idea to have, you know, you obviously get a battery with it, but get a spare. And then you're going to get like 400 full power flashes or 800, I can't remember what it is. And then you have a spare battery and you just swap it over. So I've already used these and tested and done some shoots with these and shot these on location, and they're amazing. So as a monoblock light, I think they're fantastic. I've got a couple of issues with the layout of how you navigate through these menus, right? They've got these menus on the back here with all the different things, so you can work your way around, see, I can't even do it now. You can work your way around the menu. There you go, look, using, I don't know if you can see those little blue lights on here. You can work your way around the menu here and each different symbol, and you got the control. I love the fact that the power of the light is controlled with like a volume control, so that you can turn the power of the light just up and down like this, because that's how I think about light, up and down as a volume control. You make it brighter, turn the volume up, you make it darker, you turn the volume down. So I love that, and you can do like 1-stop clicks of power, or you can do 1/10 of an f-stop clicks of power. You got all the Wi-Fi features, so you can control it from an app as well. I think these are brilliant, but even so, in saying that, I still don't like monoblocks as much as I like lamp heads, because lamp heads like this, for me in a studio, these are smaller and more compact. If you look at the difference in size, you can see there's a big difference in size, and yet this is like, can be 3 times more powerful than that. There's no capacitor in here, so it's not a monoblock. So this has to run off of a power pack. So you cannot use those type of lights unless you've got a generator pack with it. And these are very expensive, but I can plug 3 lights into a generator pack. I use the Move packs as well on location. So the Move pack does the same thing for me as a Cirrus, but again, it means I can use a smaller lamp head, which if you're using it in big powers like that, on location, like I do for some of my fashion work, then a smaller lamp head means it's less likely to tip over. But you can use the Cirrus Ls in the Paras. They've tested them, they all work. You can use them, soft boxes, everything. So a great light. And do I prefer them to the Profoto? Yes, I do, and I'm proud to be an ambassador for Bron Colour and recommend them. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it if it sucked, that's for sure. Carl, will this course cover shooting cars, mate? Not yet. We have, though, the capacity and the capability in this studio to photograph cars, because we've got the right equipment, we've got the lighting and everything, and to do studio car photography, we are actually looking at adding that as a course in future on the education member. We have got a car photography shoot that we did as how you could do car photography on a budget, and we did that on location in a warehouse. Now that's in one of our existing courses that's in our Carl Taylor education platform for $14 a month. So that particular subject is covered, but for very high-end car photography, that is something I want to introduce in this studio in the near future and introduce into the Carl Taylor education platform. What else have we got here? Adrian Morder says, you self-taught, do you have plans to write a book? I am self-taught, well, not completely self-taught, because I've worked for other photographers, and when you work for other photographers, they're teaching you. So I've assisted, and I've grown through my career by working for other photographers or in the photography industry, and then I started working for myself some years ago. I think 20 years ago actually I started working for myself. But no, a lot of experience came from working with other photographers. Will Bron Colour give members a discount? Pauline Morris asks that, or Paulianne Morris says, yes, we can get our members a discount. Let's take a look at that, Ben. Let's go back to our homepage and let me show you something. Members of Carl Taylor Education get some great benefits. Members of our Carl Taylor Education plan, that is just $14 a month, get partner savings with these brands. As a matter of fact, we can get you 15% discount with Manfrotto. I can save you money with Bron Colour, Hasselblad, Lastalite, a lot of the other Manfrotto brands as well, such as Gitzo, Avenger, things like that as well. Squarespace, Leaf filters, even printing. There's loads of things that our members save money on by being members. So if you're a member, and as long as you're registered as a member and you are a current member, we can save you money on equipment from major brands. So that's another great benefit of being a member for our low fee. So not only do you get all our past training, present training, future training, 2 live shows a month, downloadable resources, access to our competitions, you also get these great partner discounts that we have available for our members. So yes, we can get you that discount. Right, now, someone else, Dilip says, can you tell me how we can choose the right costume colour for a ride background? I'm not quite sure what that means. Anyone else know what that means? A ride background. I don't know. What I would say, Dilip, is if you're thinking about colour, think about juxtaposition, okay? We use colour very, very, very cleverly in some of our images, and it's all based around science in many ways, in choosing the right colours to contrast or complement each other. Now, I'm not going to tell you how we do that because that's covered in our courses on our website. So that's available to our members for $14 a month. Nello Johnson Photography says, which do you think is more imparting, light head itself or light modifier? I'm not quite sure what he means there. Which one should you spend money at? Which is more important, the light head itself or the light modifier? Personally, for me, it's the light modifier, okay? There are things that the Bron Colour flashes can do that other flashes can't, like super fast flash duration, colour temperature control, adjusting the Kelvin balance, rapid fire flashes per second, that sort of stuff. Those are things that you can program into these flash packs. But the light that comes out of a flash is essentially a daylight balanced temperature of about 5,600 to 6,000 K. It's the modifier that changes the look of the light. The problem with cheap lights, though, is consistency. If you're doing product photography like I do, where you need to take a lot of sort of images and consistency so that every shot is repeatable and every shot is the same, and you know when you set that power to 7.2 one day, it's exactly the same another day. You know when you take the second, third, fourth shot, every single one of them is going to be accurate to like 1/50th of an f-stop consistency. That's what you get with more expensive lighting kit like the Bron Colour range. What I found with cheaper lights that I've used in the past is that lack of consistency. Yes, they'll give you a nice burst of flash, but will they give you the same amount of power of burst of flash the next time? So that is the problem. But in terms of actually creating the look of light, then yes, it's the modifier that is the most important thing to do that. Right, what else have we got coming in here? Softbox Photography says again, do you agree it is much tougher to be an established full-time photographer than 20 years ago, and how do you keep above water? It's different now, okay? It is different, right? I started my business 20 years ago, but when I started, it was also very, very difficult. It revolved around knocking on doors, arranging appointments, meeting art directors, and I think that that is possibly one of the things that's been lost, is the new generation, in many ways, think that having a website, sending out some emails, and putting photos on Instagram and never picking up the phone and arranging meetings, they think that that should get them there, and it won't, okay? You need a lot of hard work. You've got to work hard, you've got to shoot great images, and there are a lot more photographers now. So there's a lot more people wanting to be photographers, but there's always been a lot of people wanting to be photographers. So it might be slightly more competitive than it has been, but at the end of the day, it's the work that wins. The quality of your pictures is what's going to dictate whether you get the business, and then the second thing is how well you market yourself. So if you've got amazing pictures, but no one knows about it, then no one's going to buy it. If you've got almost amazing pictures and you're great at marketing, then you're going to beat the guy with the amazing pictures who's no good at marketing. Now, I've got a great marketing and business course on my platform, carltayloreducation.com. Tells you about my marketing methods, tells you about how I did it, what I used, how I built up my client base, and it examines these things like supply, demand, and the competition and that sort of stuff. So if you want to check that out, you can access it for $14. What's that, Ben? There's business documents as well. Yeah, as a matter of fact, let's go now. Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look over on the website. Let's go to the download section here and take a look. Here we go. My website is running a bit slow today. So here we go. I've got model release forms, copyright terms, conditions, cash flow, business forecasts, expenses, usage fee calculators, marketing plans, estimate calculators, project workflow forms, pricing calculators. I've got all of that stuff. All of that included in the business course, and you get to download all those documents to help you with your business. You can access those for $14 a month. So even if you just wanted to access those documents for $14, then you can. But stick around. Take a look around for a while. Spend a month, spend 3, spend 5. Take a look around, check out some of our live shows while you're a member. You will not be disappointed. We've got archived live shows. We did a great live show on Portrait, the Emotion of Light, a week or so ago. Got another live show next week, talk show with Alex Wallace that I'm coming to soon. In that show last week, that's now in our archive. So if you missed that show, you can check it out. But don't delay by becoming a member because the archive shows drop off the list. And if you don't join up, then there'll be archive shows that you missed that you can't watch. So it's better to become a member now. This is less than the cost of a cup of coffee per week. Okay, $3.50 per week this works out at, okay? We can't make it any cheaper than that. Do you know how much our live stream facilities cost? Have you any idea how much all this kit costs to run this game and these staff? How much I have to pay for Ben's bloody car, right? Okay, this is cheap as it's ever going to get, okay? There's never ever going to be a deal, a discount or anything. It is $14 a month, which is $3.50 a week. We can't say fairer than that. We've got thousands of members and they love it. Everyone is saying great things about the stuff in the comments. They can't believe the value of what we've provided in this platform. But we need to get that membership up. We need to drive membership because the bigger the community we can make, then the better stuff we can bring you. Right, what else have we got coming in there? Are these discounts available in Singapore? Yes, our discounts should be available through our global network, okay? We have reaches far and wide around the world with our global network. Crin says, what are the paras going for? And where would I order them in the UK? Now, Crin, I thought you were in Shanghai, unless you're going back to the UK, because I've met Crin, right? Crin constantly abuses me on social media. He thinks he's quite funny, and he is quite funny, okay? But he's very, very tall because I think he's got some Dutch heritage, and I'm only short, I'm only 5'7". So he's constantly winding me up on social media about that, but doesn't bother me actually, because not only am I short, but I'm bald as well. Anyway, so Crin, yeah, it doesn't matter where you are, to be honest. I think we can arrange something for you. Just contact us. So if you're a member, then you just contact us through the website. We can organize these things for you. Someone says, I want to enjoy your course, but I live in the US. How can we do it? You just go on the website. It's carltayloreducation.com. And as a matter of fact, one of our servers is hosted in America. We've got a huge American audience that tune into our live shows and watch all our stuff. So if you're in America, just log on to the website, carltayloreducation.com, and get in there. You can start today. Sounds like an advert, doesn't it? Right, okay. What else someone says? Do you have a schedule of the live shows? I've got to say, right, you people sometimes are a little bit lazy, okay? It's all there on the website. Look on the website. Let me show you. Ben, let's do it for him. Let's look on the website, okay? Here, in the menu, at the top, it says live shows. It doesn't say it once. It says it twice because it's there as well. It says it 3 times because it's even in there. And if you scroll down the homepage, it's there as well. So if you click live shows, then guess what happens, right? Nothing happens at the moment because the website's running slow. There you go. It tells you exactly when the next live show is. It says it's in 7 days, 49 minutes and 38 seconds. It tells you who the next live show is with. We've got guest photographer Alex Wallace coming in to talk about landscape photography, his commercial work, how he set up his business in just 8 years, starting from scratch when he moved to a new city. He's going to be critiquing members' work. We're going to be reviewing the latest news. It tells you what time that show starts. It tells you everything about it. The last live show is listed there. It tells you when it was, what it was. The archive of the last live show is there so you can watch it. And then on top of that, even below that, is the list of all the live shows, all of the live shows coming up for the next 6 months. It's all there on the live show page. So please just go to the website. The website is Carl, K-A-R-L, Taylor, T-A-Y-L-O-R, education.com. You can find out all. Sorry to be so brutal and rude. Actually, I'm not sorry at all. You people, just look at the website, you'll find all that information. I can't make it any clearer than it is on this website, okay? So if you've got an internet connection, then you can find all the answers you need. And even if you struggle while you're on our website, we have a live help desk there on the website. It's not on at the moment because no one's active on it, but we have a live help desk, we have a contact page, so if you've got any questions, but of course, ask us those questions. Now, that leads me nicely onto, we're going to take some more questions in a second, but that leads me nicely onto our next live show with Alex Wallace. Let's take a look at some of Alex's work here. I'm just going to bring up 4 pictures that Alex has shot that he sent through to me here. And let's just take a look at it. Look at this beautiful shot, okay? Now, Alex is a fantastic photographer. I've known this guy for a long, long time. We actually used to work together many, many, many years ago. He's based in Auckland in New Zealand, and he shoots what I call commercial and industrial photography. So what he has to do is he has to go out and he has to photograph stuff that is quite unphotogenic, to be honest, and he's got to make it look amazing. So now I always use the phrase in studio photography with my work with products is turning the mundane into the magical. And what he's got to do is turn grime into gold, okay? Now, he does that really, really well. But what is amazing and what you guys are going to like about Alex's work is that he does it mostly with speed lights. He just uses half a dozen or 5 speed lights on location to do most of his commercial and industrial stuff. He's going to share his top tips with us. Let's just go back to his work there. So he's going to share his tips and his pictures on how he does them, the techniques that he employs, even some of his studio work that he shoots as well, using different forms of lighting. I know that he uses LED lights. I know he uses Bron Colour when he needs to. I know he uses speed lights, but he uses different lights for different jobs. And you can see some of the amazing stuff that he comes up with. Now, if we just go and take a look at the website again, we go back to the live shows. There you can see guest photographer Alex Wallace is joining me on the sofa. We're going to be discussing commercial photography, industrial photography, landscape photography, all of this stuff, and how he set up his business. Remember, this guy moved to a brand new city and a brand new country and had to start a business from scratch. Imagine how hard it is to start a business in the city you already know. This guy moved to a new city that he never lived in, or I think he'd lived in previously for a short period of time, but he moved to this city with his wife, set up business, and within 8 short years, he's now block booked 6 weeks in advance, day to day. He does all these amazing shoots all over the Australasia region, shooting for the Hilton hotels, for big industry, all sorts of people. It's going to be great to hear his story and hear how he succeeded with his work. So that's coming up on the 25th of July. That's at 6 p.m. British summer time, or 1300, that's 1 p.m. New York time, okay? So you guys can figure out when that is your time, and if you can't figure it out, it tells you on the website how many days, how many hours, but I'm sure you can plug into Google EST or BST and see what the equivalent is for your country. That's coming up 25th of July. That's next week, next Wednesday. Do not miss out on that show. That's not this shambles. That's not this rubbish thrown together quick clip art type show. That is a proper slick TV studio production over on our Carl Taylor education platform, our members platform. Get over there for $14 and check out that show. If nothing else, for $14, it's worth just experiencing the show. And then while you're there, spend a couple of months with us, enjoy some of our courses and our training and our members discounts and our competitions, all that other stuff. So check that out. Let's take a few more questions before I wrap this up. Let's see what we've got. We have any future videos on portraits using some low-cost gear, not really medium format camera. Absolutely. We got a brand new course called Light Source. I shot the whole course using basic modifiers, softboxes, brollies, grids, reflectors, and I did it all on a Canon camera, on a 35mm Canon camera. We put the medium format away to prove to you that we can do all this amazing stuff on Canon or Nikon or Olympus or whatever. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at some of those pictures again on that course. So the whole course was filmed. I'm just trying to jump back to the page. The whole course, all these pictures here with one light setup, these were all done with basic modifiers and they were all done on a Canon 35mm camera. So all of these, everything here on this course was done on 35mm gear. Okay, next question. We have...
If your budget's even less as a naked camera as well.
Oh yeah, if your budget is even less, we got another course down here, natural light portraiture, where you can learn all my techniques for composition, lighting with just natural light and using reflectors and finding the right light, finding the right locations, and how we created all these amazing shots just with natural light. There's even a little wrap up at the end showing the basic kit that we used. So even if you can't afford lighting, it's no excuse for making great pictures, because we make great pictures, or I make great pictures with the support of the team here, even though I shout at them quite a lot. I make great pictures. Can even make it with natural light with basic gear. So even the natural light course we did on 35mm gear, Canon and likes, no medium format stuff. Don't get me wrong, I love my medium format camera. It's the best suited thing for fashion product work. Right, now, what have we got here? Someone says, Barry Tomsif says, I sign up, can I commit to a year? No, it's a monthly subscription model, Barry. So you have to use a debit card or a credit card and it will bill you at $14 per month. We don't have it set up for a yearly model. And at the moment, it's Emma's trying to shout something to me. Oh, no, you're not committed. No, oh, okay, I get it, right. So you're asking if you are committed. No, you're not even committed for the month. No, you are committed for the month because it's $14 per month. But you could sign up and then you could cancel immediately. How easy is it to cancel, I hear you ask, right? Okay, we made cancellation easy, and I'll tell you why we made it easy, because we're so confident that you'll stay with us. If you look here at the very bottom of the page, there's the cancel button. That's how easy it is, okay? You can cancel any time. It says cancel any time. That is our promise to you. You click that cancel button, it takes you to another page just to verify your details and then ask you if you want to cancel. So there is no commitment other than pay $14 per month, stay with us for as long as you like or as little as you like. Enjoy what you want, leave if you want. We believe with our live shows, our member discounts, our competitions and all the other things, and the fact that we're adding new courses every month, we believe that you're going to want to stay with us because this is great value. This is the best value you can get. Not only do I believe we have some of the best training in the world where we get to the point within minutes or within an hour at least, rather than dribble on and on and on and on and on and on to finally get to the bit that you want. We get there straight away. We do it live. We're one of the only people online that will do live photography shows and show you amazing results straight out of camera. Everyone else has to Photoshop it. We don't, okay? We show you the live shoots while we're doing it. We show you the results as we're doing it, okay? So as well as all that value of the live shows, the member discounts, the competitions, and all our courses, we think we've got the best deal on the planet, and we've kept the price low because we know we've got a huge following all over the world and we've tried to make it affordable for everyone and we want everyone to stay with us. So that's why we've done this deal, but we're also so confident in what we've got to offer that we believe you will want to stay. So we're not scared of you wanting to cancel, hence that ginormous cancel button if you did want to cancel. You don't need to call us. You don't need to do anything. You only need to press that button and cancel online. So you can cancel at any time. There is no commitment, okay? And the good news is that so far with our membership, which is growing rapidly, people are not cancelling because people are just loving it. The feedback in the comments, we got people interacting with each other, talking to each other in the comments, and I'm responding to the comments and answering questions as well. So we're building this personal relationship with people. We have got this community there that's growing where everyone is talking to each other as well. And that's going to be further expanded when we lock the forum onto the website as well, where you can critique each other's work and interact with everyone, including members of the Karl Taylor Education team. Right, now, Justin says, I would like some more landscape tips. Well, that will be coming, Justin. So if you're a member on the site, which I think you are, we will be supplying more landscape work in the future. It's on our diary, it's in our schedule. We're looking at making a trip somewhere very special. I'm not going to give any details away. We're looking at making a trip somewhere very special to go and shoot some amazing new landscapes, which will be added. We're adding new courses each month to the website, okay? We've got some great food photography courses coming up in August. So we're always looking to add stuff. And what we're going to do is we're even going to add a members page where the members can tell us what they want, what they would like to get. Chris, do all quick questions about equipment drive me insane? Yes, quite often questions about equipment does drive me insane. Insane. Nothing drives me in Spain apart from a car. Equipment, yes. Most of the questions that drive me insane are like, is a D7000 better than a 5D Mark III, better than a Nikon's D800 better? Because they're all the same, okay? If they're full frame 35mm SLR, they're all the same, okay? I'd use them all the same way. In manual, manual aperture, manual shutter, manual ISO, get a good lens on it, it'll take a good picture. Job done. There's nothing else you need to know. The rest of it is from here. It's about lighting knowledge. It's about composition knowledge. It's about lighting theory. It's about knowing how to control light, how to discover an image, to make an image. That's the craft of photography, not all this equipment crap. Can I say crap live on YouTube? I just did. Okay. All right. Someone says, Stefan says, will you stop doing YouTube? We're doing YouTube right now. This is live on YouTube, okay? We're live on Facebook and live on YouTube. We will give our members the best service is the answer to that, okay? Our members get far more than we can give out for free. We like to give out stuff for free, even little impromptu things like this, because it promotes awareness about our brand and how crazy I am and you know, the type of work that I shoot. It promotes awareness about that. And we give tips like we've just done today about what a Fresnel light is and how that works, okay? But the real detailed stuff is for our members. The real knowledge is for our members. So we're not stopping YouTube, but we have to limit what we can give away for free on YouTube because we're running a business as well. You know, I'm not going to pretend that this is some hipster community where we give everything away and we love everyone and we're going to give you everything for free, man, because we can't do that. I've got a mortgage, two young, I was going to say kids. I've got two young kids and a wife and a house to pay for and a business and a studio to pay for and 6 staff members' wages to pay for. We're not running a charity here. We love our followers, okay, and we give you a lot. We give you a lot of stuff, as much as we can, but we are running a business and we expect some support back and we appreciate it. And that's why we love our members on our new Karl Taylor Education platform. Okay, that's it. We're going to wrap it up now. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stuff about understanding Fresnel lighting. If you missed it and you joined us late, then obviously the replay will be there hopefully shortly. You can go back where I demonstrated exactly what a Fresnel light does, showed you it hitting the background, how it worked and everything else. Thank you very much for joining us. Make sure you check out karltayloreducation.com. All these great live shows we've got coming up, especially this one next week with Alex Wallace, who's going to tell us how he started his business, how he succeeded, how he works just with speed lights and other simple lighting, how he turns these grimy industrial shots into gold for his clients. That's going to be a great talk show next week. After that, we've got a live food photography show where I've got Anna, this wonderful Russian food photographer, coming into the studio. We're going to do a live food photo shoot as well. We're not scared to do photo shoots live and get great results. We do it. We just do it. We can prove to you that you can get great results straight out of camera. On top of that, check out all our great courses, carltayloreducation.com. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you next time.